Welcome back everyone, I'm Setharoth, and today we are diving into an exciting spell mod called Phenderix Magic World. Phenderix started out as 3 different mods, and look, I know you're trying to sell me some wine here, I know you've got to make some money, but okay, you're interrupting me. Alright, we're going to go over here. Alright, so Phenderix started off as 3 different spell mods. The first one, well, 3 different mods. The first one was spells. Right, so you've got a number of cool spells that I'll be showing off to you guys today. The second edition was arrows, and the third edition was monk stuff. So being able to do like an elemental monk and punching to do fire damage and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, as the mods progressed, the modder combined them all into one massive mod. Now the nice thing about Phenderix is these spells do not automatically go into your loot orders, so if you are looting monsters, or even if you're going up to vendors or the College of Winterhold, you won't find any of these. I like that because it keeps things separate. It also makes it a little easier when you're modding and bringing in other mods, or other spell mods, so they don't conflict as much. But what you will notice is this gentleman here is present in most, if not all, of the holds, and in the College of Winterhold. So he is your vendor. And he has a slew of magical arrows, magical bolts, and melee punchy with elements type stuff. Plenty to do there. These hands have 0 weight. They're basically hand wraps, kind of like boxers use when they're training. And yeah, so that's your first assortment. And then you have the assortment of spells. Obviously, I've power leveled this character, so I have access to most of them. But you don't get all these right from the get-go. If you start off at just doing a playthrough with this guy, you'll have maybe a quarter of these spells available. And yeah, definitely looking at a deep dive for this because there is so much to choose from. But I'll give you a little spoiler. There is a little item called Magnetized Metal, because one of these spell schools that is added in is the School of Magnetism. We have one right there. Now, if this was just spells, arrows, and hand wraps, I would be pretty happy. It would put it on par with the Apocalypse spell mod because of all that extra stuff. But you also start off with a spell called Teleport Manantis. So if you cast this, it's going to teleport you to another location. But because this is a spell overview and a showcase, I thought I'd give you one other way you can use this spell from a playthrough standpoint. So if you don't want to just use a teleport spell you start with, and you say you want to find Manantis the old-fashioned way, well, there's no lion, there's no witch, but there's definitely a wardrobe. And we're off. Now, one thing I will point out, because this mod is so large, in order to communicate with a lot of the NPCs, you do need to enable dialogue subtext. So by that I mean you go to settings, display, and just make sure this thing is tagged dialogue subtitles, because some of these NPCs don't have voiced dialogue. That's the only thing that in which this is kind of lacking, is a lack of dialogue being voiced. But this is Manantis. We've got a lovely portal. It'll take us back, I believe, yep, straight back to Dragon's Reach. Got plenty of NPCs around. A nice little boat where they get resources. And here's the whole slew of it. Welcome to Manantis. It's huge. So this entire lower third is basically a massive city. You can find all sorts of items and NPCs and quests. And it's good. And then this section over here, the middle third, is, I think it's called the Killing Fields. Basically, it spawns in a slew of monsters crazy fast. And yeah, if you want a power level or try to die, that's a great spot. And then the highest level monsters are in the northern region with other mods, or not mods, but other items that are rarer, harder to find, and more difficult. And yes, this is my favorite. It includes what is called a School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And that is where we're going to go next, because for me that is like the hallmark of this Phenderix mod. But we will have a look at some of the dock people. As you can see, I'm trying to initiate dialogue, and it's not happening. Because a lot of these are just there for looks, make the place look a little more populated. We do have the Captain Davy, who can get us to and from Dawnstar, which is good. I tried to find him earlier and I couldn't. I was busy talking to this guy trying to get dialogue. Okay, so there is a captain here that you can negotiate with for passage, depending on your level of immersion.
Yes.
Another dock worker that's drunk. And let's see, we've got a Mantis guard. Okay, here we go. So there are 8 schools of magic in Phenderix, and one of them is fire, obviously.
Yes.
In Nori Argus.
Something?
There we go. You can actually buy a horse. That's helpful. This place is pretty big, so having transpo is good. But what I was trying to do is show you guys. Yep, this is fire. There we go. There's darkness. So I will show you some of these other types of magic. There's divine, as well as, I wonder what this guy is over here. Sanitation worker. That's a different type of magic. That's one we use in our everyday lives. And this is Odin Ergol. I don't know. Oh, there's your elemental archer guy. He'll train you in elemental archery. Very nice. So I'm not going to show you the entire school of witchcraft and wizardry, but I mean, I was a 90s kid, so yeah, we're definitely going into the school of witchcraft and wizardry. For sure. So this place might look a little familiar, although it has more of a dwarven feel to it. We have 4 different colors for 4 different houses: yellow, blue, green, and red. If your immersion is dying because you're feeling like a certain very popular enterprise from the 90s is being utilized here, I think there is either a lore-friendly version of this that you can get in a patch, or it just changes the names so you're not literally talking to Albus Rumbleroar. But if not, you can just skip the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and just get the spells and treat it like Apocalypse. Like, you don't even have to come to Phenderix, and you still have access to all of the mods.
Yes.
But we're going to talk to Mr. Albus Rumbleroar. We would like to join the school.
Are you sure you want to join? Why do you seek to learn more about magic?
Let's see. The ever-popular question. These are a little less fancy than the answers you have to say to get into the College of Winterhold. I want to unravel the mysteries of Aetherius. I want to kill those who look down on me. Let's look at help others and defend those I care about, because this is technically Albus, and that's what he would prefer.
If you truly wish to learn magic, this is a great place to do so. The best place in all Tamriel. I am the headmaster here, and I make sure everything runs properly. In addition, I control admissions. To become a student, you must be placed into a certain house. There are 4 options, including red, green, blue, and yellow. Each of them have their own unique characteristics and history. It is a great honor to be a part of this school. I am taking a chance on you and admitting you. To be sorted into one of these houses, you must put on the sorting hat. It will tell you which one you should join. I'm placing it in your inventory. Please return to me after you know which house you would be joining.
We have a sorting hat. It's a sorting hat. And, oh, and he's a big boy. He enlarges when he's not sitting down to eat. That is weird. Either that or the food is just that good. Alright, let's have a look here. Sorting hat, sorting hat. Where are you? Probably in inventory. There we go. Which house do we choose? Red, green, blue, or yellow? Actually, I already took this test, and apparently I am a Ravenclaw. So, we're going to go with blue. I have worn the hat.
Great. Now I can give you your uniform. You are now officially a student at this college. Enjoy your studies and do not hesitate to ask questions. Good luck and please study.
There we go. Alright, we have now been accepted into the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. We now have blue tower robes. Very nice, very fashionable. And yeah. So there is a lot more to this school. Let's see how much of it is in the... Oh, no. Alright, but since this is just a showcase, I'm doing a kind of a light overview of everything, and the school is like less than 1/10 of the entire mod. So, since I only have a limited amount of time, we're going to go right on through here. Let's go ahead and do a save. The easiest way for me to show you guys a lot of these spells is to just unload on some of these poor chaps and then they will probably kill me, and then we'll reload and do it again, just so you guys can see what a lot of these spells do. So we're going to start with the arrow magic, which conjures a frickin' ballista. Abracadabra. Oh, that was a lot smaller than I anticipated, but to be fair... Oh wait, am I still in God mode? Ha! Yes, I am. I forgot. Alright, that actually works out. Whoa, hello. Alright. Who's shooting at me? I don't know. I don't know where the fire is coming from, but I've got myself my ballistas. I thought that it's arrow magic. I thought it would be an actual ballista, but instead it's like a rock. But hey, if it does damage, right? There you go. Alright, so we've got hemorrhage magic. We're going to combine that with scorching ring. Actually, I need to do my descriptions here. Bear with me. So, arrows, that arcane magic. Let's see. Oh, what's school conjuration? There we go. So, arrow ballista. Fire a ballista arrow at a target, doing 50 damage and staggering them. So the nice thing about this arrow spell is it throws in that stagger. When I was doing vanilla Skyrim, I would always go dual wielding destruction magic with the impact perk, just because staggering meant I would basically win against any one opponent. At least that was before mods. Now it's a much different game. However, let's see. So as you can see, arrow is part of, it's tied to your conjuration skill, but it's a different school of magic called arrow, but it is tied into your conjuration. So that's how they level up with it. Now for each of these bad boys, and these two, Curse and Darkness, it's interesting to note, first off, you can see what school and what element they're all tied to. So this is how he's adding in new schools of magic, but making sure that they still level up appropriately, right? So you've got your hemorrhage spell that is blood magic. It's tied to your destruction school. And yeah, there's all sorts of additional elements. However, one thing to keep in mind with a lot of these, there are actually secondary attributes that these Phenderix spells apply as debuffs. So Earth, for example, applies a debuff called Dirty that like slows down and I think increases the stagger chance of your opponent. And then if you hit them with a water spell, it actually cleans them off. If you hit them with blood magic, it makes them vulnerable, I believe, to poison, because you've basically opened wounds and now you're adding poison. And I believe if you get someone soaking wet and with a water spell and then hit them with lightning, you get bonus damage for electrocution. So all of these spells interact with each other in different ways, far beyond what you get with vanilla, right? So if I use the fireball repeater, yes, it's a fireball repeater, you'll get the extra burning damage from the burning effect. But if you hit someone with frost magic after that, it'll actually extinguish the flames. They like neutralize each other. So it's a lot of fun to play around with the different side effects and figure out a combination that works for you. But we're going to go ahead and dive in. So we have blood magic. The spell is called hemorrhage. This technically is supposed to hurt you, but I'm pretty sure in God mode it won't actually hurt me. But the idea here is you're doing maximum damage to the enemy at the cost of hurting yourself. So this is like a mage where you would need a lot of health, or a lot you use enchantments to boost your health as much as possible because you're going to get hurt. Or you get some other healing over time restoration spells and you're good. So we're going to be using hemorrhage in the left hand, and it's a barrage, so I think we can do that from a distance. And then we're going to combine that with Scorching Ring. So this is kind of cool. One of the things that Phenderix adds in is a flat-out restoration spell that does damage and heals you simultaneously. And if you spam it, it also heals your stamina. So if you're trying to make a white mage that just based off of restoration magic, you don't even have to wait for the Ordinator False Light perk where healing now does damage to enemies. You can just get Scorching Ring, and now you can heal and do damage and heal your stamina all at the same time. So we're going to start with Barrage. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that. Here, maybe we have to get closer. There we go. Okay, so it's. Ooh, yeah, that looks plenty creepy. So that was Barrage. This is Scorching Ring. Scorching Ring is more of a medium range spell. I think these guys are actually interrupting my spellcasting. Yeah, Scorching Ring, as you can see, kind of medium range. Wow, okay, that's getting distracting. I didn't think I was going to reload. I thought I was going to wait till I died, but let's just reload now so you guys can get a better idea of what that looks like. Alright, so we have Scorching Ring. This is a shorter range spell, which I think is pretty balanced, because Restoration isn't technically for hurting, if that makes sense. It's usually for healing or buffs or wards. So if you're going to be using Restoration to do damage, it makes sense that it would be like a last-ditch effort, so melee range. Hemorrhage, as we saw, is ranged, and it just basically cooks the blood out of your target. So, yeah, that. What a way to go. Let's clear out some of these that I've already used. Another divine spell that's very nice is called Fortify Creativity. You can get these fortification spells for magic builds, strength builds, thief builds. But the basic idea here is this will fortify your alchemy, enchanting, smithing, and speech temporarily. Boom shakalaka. So as you can see on my menu on the right hand sidebar and from here, we suddenly have a lot of buffs. And if we go up to our skills section, yeah, it's my enchanting I think was like 25, maybe 20 at the time. I hadn't put any XP into it, and now it's almost 50. So it's very nice buff. Boosts all your smithing skills, and it's not an overpowered amount. It boosts them by like, I don't know, 20, 30%, give or take. I have used it in my playthroughs to top off my enchanting, which has worked out very well for me. It's been very nice. So I highly recommend looking into that one when you have a high enough skill to actually unlock it. Alright, so next, oh yeah, we're gonna definitely, we're definitely going here next. So this is a curse spell. Now, with the curse spells, there is a little caveat. Some of them are literally labeled cheat spells. Like there's one called the Killing Curse that literally just kills the target. It's definitely a cheat spell. This is a little different. If you remember, those of you that are World of Warcraft players, being a mage, what was the main advantage of that? You can turn them into chickens. You shall be chickenified. This is beautiful. We're going to start a little farm. Little chickens. It's great. Alright, so to be fair, I believe it only lasts about 30 seconds. But it has that nice little swirling red magic mist. That's the Fireball Repeater spell. Wow, these guys are all armed with Phenderix spells. That's pretty cool. So you guys can actually see all of this hell that's being thrown at my face is all stuff you can unlock as a Phenderix mage. It's very nice. Very nice indeed. Alright, so let's look at, I guess I should have read the description for that. Turn your opponent into a harmless creature for 8 seconds. There you go. It's beautiful. I've done that to a raging mammoth, and there's just something quite satisfying about hitting a creature the size of a house and turning it into a chicken. Alright, next we have a darkness type spell. This is linked to the illusion school. We're going to overwhelm a target's mind with dark spirits and make them believe they're being attacked by a tentacle. Rips apart the target's mind, causing 36 damage. I do not know how much range this is, so let's get close and have a... Oh, hi! Oh, that is so cool. Look at the tentacles. Do you see the tentacle? I know it's kind of hard to tell in the ensuing chaos, particularly since some of these spells have stagger effects. But you can see the tentacle. I'm having Hermaeus Mora flashbacks from this. Alright, it looks like this is a medium range spell. Let's see how far we can go. Yep. So it's a medium range spell, and interestingly enough, it's hard to tell from here, but it actually has an arc to it, like it goes up and comes down as if it was a genuine projectile. So I like that a lot of these spells, they do a lot of damage, and they have a very unique flavor, but they also have some distinct weaknesses, right? So they're not too, at least at this level, they're not too overpowered. The darkness spell is medium range, Scorching Ring was short range. Let's go ahead and have a look at Earth Magic. Avalanche causes rocks to fall from the sky and do 75 damage to target's health and stamina. Well, if we're going to hurl rocks from the sky, I want to be... Wow, that's fun. They staggered me to the point where I couldn't... Whoa, okay. I don't know what the spinning blue-red balls of death are, but... Where? I'm looking for rocks falling from the sky. I'm not seeing rocks falling from the sky. Maybe I have to actually hit somebody? No? Alright, let's reload. I can see reinforcements are coming. And I just want to see rocks falling from the sky. Is that too much to ask? Okay, let's go. We've got Avalanche. So, alright, let's try that. Let's see if this is an area type spell. Like you just hit a location and it gets rocked. Okay. Mr. Sanitation Worker, you deal with Earth. What was that? Huh. Okay. So, is it a touch spell? I hope it's not. Ah, jeez. Am I going to have to reload again just so I can get a clean shot? There we go. Okay, so it looks like... Oh, good, okay. I was worried that you had to be at melee range. You do not have to be at melee range to make this work. But it looks like one of those medium range spells, because I was a good distance away before and not getting any action. Oh, come on now. There we go. So many rocks. Get rocked. Oh, that's funny. But what I love about this is one of those spells that's so big, you actually have to watch out yourself or you'll get thrown into the rocks. You know, usually you don't have to worry about a lot of friendly fire in Skyrim for yourself. I mean, you have to. I kill Lydia every other playthrough just accidentally because I'm hurling things that explode and she's gonna die. It's so funny to watch the rocks fall. You can tell which ones are dirty too because they turn yellow. The dirty debuff. Oh, there we go. That's funny. Oh, I love it. Poor guys. Okay, all right. We'll circle back now. All right, so that's the Avalanche spell. Medium range, lots of rocks dropping on your opponents. What more do you need? So next we have now this elemental magic is interesting. Remember when I said that these spells have different effects, right? So fire causes burning, but frost can actually extinguish it. Water actually increases the conductivity of electricity, so you do extra lightning damage. There's another school of magic, or another, I mean, obviously it's in destruction, but they're called elemental spells, and they literally combine the elements. So your Frost Spark Cloak is a cloak that does both frost and shock damage. So I've picked that one because that's one of my favorites. You can apply the slowing effect of frost and destroy the magicka of a nearby target all in one happy, beautiful spell. And I think this one we might be able to actually show off without causing everyone and their mother to try and kill me. But there we go. So the frost fire, the elemental spells, there's frost fire, frost spark, flame frost, and flame spark, I think? It's a combination. It's the two elements in all the different combinations. And there is like a ranged version, a melee version. They have quite the assortment. But it's pretty cool, particularly if you're going all destruction and you've got multiple perks and multiple elements, because this just channels it all. Next, let's go ahead and unmark the spells we've already seen. And save real quick. Doing good. So, this is mean. It's just mean. But if we're gonna do this, I'm doing this with the dual casting. I mean, if you're gonna use a spell called Fireball Repeater, you gotta dual cast it. You just gotta. I gotta get in first person mode for this. This is what happens when a mage really goes insane. Wow. Now, I think technically each individual projectile does a little less damage than the average fireball. But the fact that you have this makes up for it. Oh, vanilla Skyrim playing me would have been absolutely nuts. over this particular spell. Even you can just one-hand it. Bridge of Flames, burn them all. This is like one of the only spells that I've showed that can literally handle the entire city coming to kill you. You can't, I don't even see them. I just see red dots. I just turn toward red dots. The explosions are so big that I can't actually see the targets. I just go for red dots. Oh, look, more red dots over here. I still don't know what that blue-red spinny doohickey is. That's just weird. Okay, I'm gonna... What school of magic are you? Oh, you're just a Manantis guard? That's disappointing. I was hoping to be like, this is the blood mage. Like, oh, that must be blood magic. I can look that up for my viewers, but no, not happening. Alright, so that was fun. So that repeating type spell is available for all of your main elements, right? You can get a ice spike repeater. There's a lightning repeater. Lots of repeaters. So keep in mind, if you're seeing one of these options for a specific element, there's probably a similar type for a different element. So for example, when we look at Lightning Strike, a very powerful lightning attack that strikes through an opponent at close range, must touch the target. The Lightning Strike spell, there is a flame equivalent and a frost equivalent. So keep in mind when I'm showing you guys these, it's not just these spells. These types of spells, like the repeater, apply to all the destruction type spells of the standard elemental type. So yeah, there's a lot more to this than... Oh wait, is this channeled? Oh, that's channeled. Okay. Well, this shouldn't take long. Wow, that is definitely touch. You've got to really walk up and tickle everybody. I do not like the sound of that. It does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. Like, bad guys be dying. But you really have to get close. You've got to like grab some faces here and shock the crap out of them. Oh, that was pretty cool. The body just went flying. Oh, that's a repeater spell right there. Very nice, very nice. Okay, we're going to switch back because I actually hadn't tried that spell before, and I didn't know that it sounded like cats being spun around on a chalkboard. Alright, so next we're going to look at Magnetism. Now, Magnetism is a very unique type of spell. It is alteration based, so now you can actually fight with alteration magic. Yes, you can do that with the telekinesis spell, but this kind of takes it to the next level. One of the so we've got our magnetism spell. Blade requires 5 magnetized metals in inventory. This I already bought these earlier. They should be... Where is my magnetized metals? They don't go away, do they? Oh, there we go. Yep, so there's my 25. So I have 25 magnetized metals. And when you look at magnetized blade, you use magnetism to fire a blade at a target, doing 0 physical damage. I don't know why it says 0, but we'll try this. Requires 5 magnetized metals in inventory. These can be reobtained if a target is successfully hit, otherwise the metals are lost. So I've got 5 shots with this, because it costs 5 magnetized metal, and I've only got the 1. So let's go ahead and have a try at this. Can I recover it? Oh, it says removed from inventory. I know I hit him, so I think they like fell on the ground somewhere, and then I have to pick them up. It's kind of like keeping track of your shell casings in a fight. But yeah, it's removing my magnetized metals from inventory. I wonder if I have to kill the guy to recover them. Actually, that would kind of make sense, because if you're throwing them at the guy, then they would end up in the guy. And best way to find that out is to, yeah. There we go. Okay, so one of these guys was the lucky one. There we go. Yep, I got my magnetized metal back. Okay, cool. So the trick there is to make sure that you don't miss. You can still do you can still do your damage, have your fun. Keep in mind, this is an apprentice level spell, or adept level spell, so there are higher level versions of this to do more damage. I don't know why it's saying 0 physical damage, because we definitely hurt him. I think it's just a slight glitch. But this is kind of cool. You have a new projectile to keep track of that you can shoot at targets. But if you miss, you will lose that magnetized metal. And if you noticed from before, they are 3 pounds apiece. So it's 15 pounds of weight for one projectile if you're using this particular spell. There is a magnetized coin version of the spell that is, I think it only uses one version or one piece of magnetized metal. So yeah, there is a version that is more economic if you want to use that. So let's see, that takes care of the blade, that takes care of the fireball repeater and lightning strike. Let's see, so next we're going to look at manipulate. This is a lock spell, cast and then use on the container or door you want to lock. So I don't know if it'll work on this one because this is technically a door to go outside. It worked. Alright, cool. So if you've ever been running around a dungeon and getting annoyed at the fact that you keep, you open the door, you close the door, you try to hide, and they just open the door and kill you. Yeah, now you have a spell that allows you to just lock the door. I will give you a bit of a spoilers. There is an unlock version that just automatically unlocks anything. I don't think you can get it until you're at least like expert level in alteration. But it is a bit of a game. To me, that's a bit game breaking to just have a spell that circumvents any locks. I do like Odin's version because it has a spell that just lowers the difficulty of the surrounding locks. So it's just makes your life a little easier without making you, overpowered. Let's see, so that was manipulate. Actually, I should probably read you the description. Oh, I already did. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem. Next, we're going to look at a poison type. Which is non-elemental damage. So quick point, if you're using Ordinator and you're using spells that do non-elemental damage, there is actually a perk for that. There you go, Raw Power. I believe it goes up to as high as 30% for destruction spells that do not deal fire, frost, or shock damage. So keep in mind, I do believe that as far as the game code is concerned, like this earth magic technically counts as frost. Blood magic technically counts as fire. Osea, in other words, all of the perks that you use for elemental stuff, elemental destruction spells, will give those same benefits to your earth magic or your blood magic. But poison, as you can see by the hand symbol there, is just raw elemental damage. So just keep that in mind. Causes all in the vicinity of the gas to become paralyzed for 3 seconds. Also causes the target to become poisoned for 30 seconds. So it sounds like this is a single target spell, but it explodes. So if we're going to test that out, we're just going to get to a nice clear little location here. And bon appetit. Whoa, whoa. How far is that going? Looks like some of these animations are a little wonky. Okay, well, there's your paralysis. Okay, now we're talking. This is a nice... I'm not seeing a whole lot of damage, but I am seeing instant paralysis, which I can't argue with when I'm horribly outnumbered. This is kind of a weird it's kind of a hybrid between concentration and cast, because I have to hold it down, but it immediately turns off after like 5 seconds. So I guess it functions more like a dragon's breath attack, because you inhale and then you exhale, and once you're done exhaling, you're done exhaling, right? So it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but the area of effect paralysis is pretty nice. And it looks like there's some kind of an extra side effect. I believe poison... Actually, I forget the exact details of what the poison magic does to its poor hapless victims. I think it compounds with blood magic, if I am not mistaken. But the instant paralysis is very nice. And this, honestly, that effect of them being all dusty looks more like an earth-type magic than anything else. But good to know. Anyway, so that is our poison cloud, and obviously there are other poison type spells. You'll have ranged ones, melee ranged ones. I'm just giving you guys a wide taste of all that this has to offer. So next we have water, concentrated stream. Condensed water into a powerful stream that pummels the target, causing them to become waterlogged. Waterlogged is the side effect for water. It actually compounds with lightning, making the enemy more vulnerable to electrocution. So actually we'll do, I like to do the left and then right. So we're going to use water to get this guy waterlogged, and then we're going to use lightning to electrocute.
Never should have come here.
The bubbles! Bubbles and lots of lightning. Okay. Oh, I forgot how horrible that sounded. Ah, okay. Yeah, not going to do that anymore. But as you can see, still, yeah. So, I love the bubbles. I was not expecting the bubbles. I've had this mod for ages, but I've never actually sat down and tested all of the different kinds. This is why I like a modding channel based on, or YouTube channel based on modding, because I never sit down and actually run through all of these. So with water, obviously there's like 4 to 6 different kinds of water spells. There's a ranged one, melee, area of effect, all that kind of stuff. This is just to give you guys a taste of the different schools of magic that this mod brings into play. Now we have a wind type spell called Gust. This will immobilize the target temporarily. So is this just going to use a paralysis type? Oh, that's what that area of effect thing was. That blast spell that I kept seeing is it's wind magic. Okay, well that's really clever. These guys aren't dead, by the way. They just got bowled over. It's not an insta-kill, but it is great for when you have multiple opponents. Oh, this is pretty fun. That's cool. Go flying. Oh, somebody died. So this is pretty cool. Like, he's using the animation from Unrelenting Force, but obviously it's not as powerful as what you get as a Dragon Lord, or a Dragonborn. But that is still pretty cool. Yeah, so I think this is the max level wind spell just because you can knock them all down and keep on running. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's pretty fun. Don't mind him, he's glitching. I have a small glitch where sometimes the bandits will die and they just stand in place walking. They die walking. They die walking and just so stunned at how quickly and epically they were destroyed that they're just stuck in place. Okay, so that was, I believe that was the last of the destruction spells. Yes, it was. We've already done magnetism, manipulate, very good. Okay, I believe, let's go ahead and save real quick, and now we can get into some of the conjuration spells, which are epic. Okay, there's at least 4 dozen different conjuration spells, and I'm going to show you guys just a couple of them. This is the Jumping Spider. You get to pick what kind of element you want, so let's go with Shock. It creates a Dwarven Spider of that, oh no, that's a spider. That's a Spider. That is a Spider if ever I saw a Spider. So we're going to go ahead and combine this with the wind spell because I want you to see how this works. Go get him, boy. Go get him. It is a suicide spider. It will follow you around, fight your enemies by suicidally jumping into them and then exploding. Where did my frost spider go? I lost my frost spider. Problem is when your summon is a suicide creature, you're going to be casting this a lot because he's not going to last that long. But I don't know actually if the conjuration benefits from your destruction perks, but it is pretty funny to have an elemental spider just following you around and then immediately jumping into the enemy. Very nice. Let's see, so that's your jumping spider. There's also regular spiders. There's also dwarven spiders, and I believe you can summon them, freaking all of them, with this particular spell. Let's see, so next is going to be a combination. You can conjure a mammoth for a crazy amount of seconds. Requires a large open space to summon and must be cast outside. Now, there is also a spell called Dispel. Now, I do like this because a lot of his summons are meant to be basically permanent or last until they die. And yeah, that's a problem if you summon something and don't necessarily want to kill it, but you want it to disappear, which is why we also have Dispel a Summon that was added by Phenderix Magic World. So we're going to summon a mammoth. Hey boy. Oh, I've never longed for a mod that would allow me to ride a mammoth, but now I do. And then we have the dispel. There we go. All right. So I guess last but not least is the teleport spell, but you know what? Let's go for a little walk just to show you guys how big this place is. So that was the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry over there. This is the fields where they play, oh, what do they call this game? The modder takes a little unique spin on it. Can I talk to these guys?
Need something?
No. Anyway, this is the game they play in which they hurl balls through little gulls. If you
what do you need?
Are at all familiar with the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and the games that they use with which to entertain themselves. But if you want to do shopping, and it is likely you're going to want to do shopping, given that you have an entire subcontinent to explore and to deal with, you'll go this way. This, I believe, is the school. Nope, that's the Clink and Thunk. That's a trader. And then what do we have here? Arya's house.
Good afternoon.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so when you see these big, like, stone towers, these are actually the dormitories for that particular house. So this is the red house. That's the green one. There should be a blue one around here somewhere, but that's where you can sleep and recuperate if you need to rest your character in between your adventures. There's taverns, there's inns, there's places where you can do magic, there's crafting tables. Yeah, this is a huge mod. And this isn't even the biggest part yet. So we're gonna do some sprinting. There should be a ramp around here somewhere. I get lost sometimes, even here at Manantis. Oh no, no. Oh, what did I do? Oh wait, where's the stairs? There we go. Okay. The one thing this mod doesn't have is a flying spell, and it would be very helpful because I'm trying to get up high here. There we go. Okay. So there are 15 quests that are also tied into Phenderix, and I'm fairly certain this is one of the spots that actually uses that, but I haven't done this quest before. Oh yeah, that would definitely be blood magic. Got a bunch of skeletons sitting around ominously in a circle. Definitely blood magic. Okay, so that was that. And then if we go around here in a circle, jeez, the ghost, Nicholas, nearly headless. What now? Yep, we've got him. Yes, there is a Ronald, a Hermione, and a Harold around here somewhere. Usually they're in front of the school, but their NPCs had moved, and I don't know why.
Good afternoon.
We've got more sorcery. We can actually go up outside of the city if we need to. There's botany rooms for alchemy. Shared housing. Here we go. So this is the bridge where you've got a ton of vendors for your selling pleasure. It's got 2 different levels. You can see there's a second level down there. There's a prison. If you follow that fortress symbol on your map, that'll take you to a dungeon full of ghosts that you can try and plow through for quests. And let's see, trying to find the way to get down to the second level without, falling out of the city. There's got to be a way. Oh, I think I found some stairs over here. And there we go. Okay. So this is the second level. This doesn't have as many vendors, but there's a couple of mentor characters over here, like retired mages and stuff that have other specialized quests, and I believe special spells you can unlock as rewards, but don't quote me on that last part because I haven't done all of the quests. So yeah. But this is Manantis. Yeah, it's huge. Just freaking huge. Let's go ahead and keep going. I think there was, I vaguely remember something important about this tree, the Minoa tree. I don't think it whomps you if that's what you're thinking about. I don't think it's a willow. But there's also the potent potions. So there are schools, and to learning every school of magic, there's spell masters to learn each school of magic. There's vendors to cover just about everything you could possibly need. Can I get up over here? Yeah. And I'm trying to find... Yeah, before we head out... There we go. I was trying to find the way out of here so you can get to the next section. And I wanted to... There we go. Okay, so from here we can go north. And that will bring us to the next third of the map. If we continue going that way. They also have two different... Well, we've got some crafting stations over here. Forgot about those. We also have the Lair of the Prime Evil and the Lair of the Deathbringer. So there is plenty of crapdom to unlock. And I've only touched about a third of the map. Maybe a quarter. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this demonstration of Phenderix. The last thing we're going to show is there's a series of teleportation type spells for bringing enemies to you, escaping enemies, and my personal favorite, going freaking anywhere. So not only can you get to all the major cities, you can also go to the minor cities like Falkreath, Morthal, Dawnstar, and Winterhold. And then unfortunately when you hit cancel, it cancels the spell rather than pulling you out of the menu. But you can also go to towns. So we can go to Riverwood, Dragonsbridge, Everstead, Karthweston, Rorikstead, and Shorestone. It's beautiful. I mean, you fast travel without using your map, basically, is what you can do with this teleportation spell. So we're going to go ahead and... One of the other things I like about it is when I teleport to Whiterun, I mean, anytime you fast travel to Whiterun, where do you end up? You end up right at the front gate, which means you have to run a good distance to get anywhere. What I like about this is he's adjusted the locations that you land in, because this actually plops you down right here, right at the Great Forge, which makes it a little shorter of a walk to get over to Dragon's Reach or down to the market or to see the companions. It's a nice convenient thing. Like if you were a teleporting mage, would you really teleport yourself to the front door every day? I think not. You would try to put yourself in nice and close. And okay. Yeah, let's wait for Mr. Courier to finish his little spiel. Do I already have that spell? I don't think... Oh, I might have that mod. Oh, nope, it's the museum. Okay. I have a couple mods that are activated by the courier giving you stuff, so I wasn't sure if I had those in this particular load order, because this was just so that I could show you guys Phenderix. Oh, nope, yep, there it is. That's Forgotten City, which is fantastic, by the way. I have to do a walkthrough of that at some point in the future, because it is an amazing mod. The one downside is that it actually reads you the letter. So I literally can't make her shut up. I have to wait till she's done. Alright, so in the meantime though, we can get to a nice spot, get a nice view. There we go. Okay. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this showcase. I guess, I guess it's a bit... You know what? Yeah, we should just teleport back to Manantis. It just makes sense. I need to end this in Manantis. That's the whole point of this mod. My mistake. But it is nice to know how the teleportation magic works, because that can get you just about anywhere and everywhere. I only use it half the time because I'm so used to fast traveling with the map that I just forget about it. This one, though, does teleport you right back to the start. So you can take that for what it's proverbially worth. Let's see, where's a good spot for a nice end scene to record from? Probably the entrance to the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I think that would do nicely to end. So, highly recommend Phenderix. It is obviously a New Lands mod. I had to do maybe 1 or 2 little patches to make it work, but it really wasn't that bad. You can 9 times out of 10 you'll be able to drop this into your load order without any trouble.
What do you need?
I was just wondering if Hermione and Harold... There we go, Harold Potter. Harold, my boy. I like to see that the scar has healed. Well done. Obviously, they can't use the name exactly from IP standpoint. They'd get sued for that. Anyway, there we go. Much better. There. That is the epic shot we're looking for. All right, thank you so much for joining me on this showcase into the Phenderix Magic World mod. It is fantastic. I highly recommend it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite spell was that we saw today. I have particularly liked turning people into chickens. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was raised on a farm with chickens. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Take care.